Hello! Today I'm going to do a quick video about tools that I use for my 3D printing. These are my favorite tools. It's not all of my tools that I use, but it's the ones I use every day for regular 3D printing. We're going to start with designing. Everybody needs a good set of calipers. Sometimes you can get by with a really cheapy pair, but a good set of calipers is very crucial to both measure filament as well as design parts that you want to make. Okay. I also use, of course, a stainless steel ruler here that has both metric and inches. Of course, when we design in 3D printing, we almost always use the metric, but it's good to have one of these as well. And this right here, this is a tool that I actually made. There are other ones out there. This one's on Thingiverse under Terry Morris, if you want to look it up. And what this is this is a hole size guide. Even though 3D printers have come a long way, as well as the software, the holes are always slightly undersized. So what you do is you take and measure the part that you need, the hole that you want, and then you measure it against one of these holes to see which one fits it best. And this hole size guide is in 1mm increments all the way up to 25. So that's what I use for designing, or these are just some of the tools I use for designing. They're pretty much essential. Now we'll move on to 3D printing itself. I always have a pair of forceps. These are great to reach in and grab filament that's hanging off the nozzle before you print, or if you get a glob of gunk on your print while you're printing, you can reach in and grab it with this without stopping. And it's good for other things too, getting in little small parts and just all kinds of things. Really good, handy. Of course, everybody needs a good pair of cutters for cutting filament and anything else that needs to be cut. For removing, I have two basic tools that I use most of the time. This one's actually my favorite. And this tool is a painter's palette knife. That's what it's called. And it's very, very thin, but very sturdy and flexible. That's the important part, is that it's flexible. So when if you use a gouge or chisel or something like that, you're going in at an angle. That's not good. So what I do is I put my finger on the end, I put it at an angle, and then I press until the tip is flat. And then I go like this until I can get the tip under there, and I just keep wiggling, and usually I can completely remove a part with just that. For larger parts, I will use this. This is a Build Tack spatula, if you will. And it's really nice. It's kind of tapered on the ends, but it's still twice as thick as this, and it's not flexible or anything. So often, even on larger parts, I will use this first to get under the part to make a little gap, and then I'll come in with this and use this to force my way in. Now, sometimes if you have say a halfway tall part and it won't come off very easily, a tap is all you need. And I'm looking for a part here as an example, like something like this. So if this is on there, a lot of times I won't even bother with this. I just grab a hammer, and all I do, and you gotta make sure that your part doesn't go flying. But what you're doing is you're just tapping it like that to set up a vibration in it, and that'll usually knock it loose. Just like that. Now I print on PEI, and these are the tools that I use for that, and they work very well. And I'm going to set them aside. Now I'll show you the rest of the stuff. When it comes to finishing my parts, these are essential. These are small diamond files, and they have various shapes. And I use the round one and the flat one the most. But coming in a close second is this round one because it's got a larger edge. Now, because these are diamond, they're called files, but they're more like diamond sandpaper. Okay, because a file you should really only run in one direction, lift, pull back, run in one direction, lift, pull back. But these, because it's just a grit that's on there, you can just go back and forth like that, and it's really good for smoothing edges like this. And then on the round one, like this has got a fairly large round, so I might use the half moon one and go in there and do like that. You can do it in holes. For holes, I'd probably use the perfectly round one and go in and sand like that. Okay, so that's that. And then to finish parts, I usually use sanding pads. These are micro mesh sanding pads. There's like 9 pads in a pack. Each pad is a different grit, but they're double-sided. So this is the same grit as this side. And because they're flexible, you can use them on the edges, and then like in this divoted corner, you can actually push from behind and get that as well. You can get flat edges, of course, but then you can also do curved edges like this because it can form around it. So these come in 9 different grits, which is really great. They show the grits on the card there as well. That's that. A razor knife. I don't like the big ones. I like the small ones like this. You can, of course, break the blade off using the rear tool here. This has a groove in it that you put over the blade and snap it at different increments so you get a new cutting surface. These are good for trimming you know, little leftovers on the edges, especially if you've got a brim around it. You can also use it to go in there and cut out support material, stuff like that. These are essential. I have dozens of these things hanging around. And then this is, of course, Allen key set for maintenance on your printer. Most printers have a lot of Allen wrenches or a lot of Allen screws in them, and I really like these. I'm going to pull out one of the larger ones so you can see the end of it. It's a ball head, so that you can get into an Allen socket at a Allen head screw at an angle. You don't have to be straight up and down. You can be at a bit of an angle, about a 25 degree angle or so. You can work these. This is one of those things that is really good to invest in, a good set. This set came with my Taz printer, Taz Lovesbot printer. But Bondus is a really good brand name, as well as Allen, which is the makers of these keys. So that's that. Other things I use are like, because I do ABS a lot, I use acetone to both polish my prints as well as clean up after my prints, and to glue prints together. If you're using PLA, then you want a good super glue, and this one, Loctite, the super glue one with the little things on the side, gel control, this is really good because so far it's the only one that I haven't had the tip get all gunked up on. I've had large bottles of really good glue go bad on me because the nozzle gets clogged up. Well, this one's airtight when you close it, and what you do is when you go down like this, you don't squeeze the bottle, you squeeze these 2 sides, and it squeezes a bladder on the inside or something. But anyway, really good part. I just thought I'd show you, this is not the end-all and be-all kit of tools. Everybody has their own tools, but these are just some of the ones that I find to be absolutely essential for my 3D printing, and I use them every single day. And I've been printing for 4 years now, a little over 4 years now, and I do prints I do probably 30 hours a week worth of printing. Some of it is for around the house things, and camera accessories and things like that, but a lot of it is also for equipment that I manufacture and sell to different industries, and I make parts and drill templates and stuff like that on them. So I depend on my printer, And these are just some of the tools that you should have in your arsenal. If you liked this video and you want to see more, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, comment down below if you have any tools that you feel are an absolute must. I'd love to hear about them. I'd like to know what they are, what they're called, where you can get them, things like that. And I may add them to a future video. So for now, that's all there is. Thanks for watching and keep in touch.